The reality is, the more risk you take, the luckier you get. So people need to learn to take one big risk a day. Every day take a risk and build up that risk muscle, because risk is where success comes.
Risk must be taken for the greatest. Hazard in life is to risk nothing.
Take the biggest fucking risks of your entire life right now. Remember, you have time.
I think that most people, the reason that they lack success in their life is that they lack the courage to make the decisions that need to be made to put them in the position that they want to be in.
You can get so scared, and you can be so easily lulled into the idea that good is good enough, that feeling safe and comfortable is what you should always be looking for. That way of thinking in your 20s in particular, dead fucking wrong. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
All right. Good morning. Happy Taco Tuesday to everybody out there in the crypto space. Everybody out there on Ethereum blockchain. Everybody out there just holding their Bitcoin. Everybody out there on Solana. Everyone out there on Base. Everyone on Sonic. Everyone on PulseChain. Welcome. Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. And don't forget, if you're on YouTube, pound the like button, subscribe, post notifications. You know the drill. All right. If you're on X, go follow me on X. Damn it. It's in the link in the description. Follow me on X, retweet, get all your hashtags. And don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor. I for damn sure am not a professional. This is cryptocurrency. Don't ever allow an influencer on any social media platform out there to influence you when it comes to crypto, because you could lose it all. You could lose everything. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at the chat. Goo God in the house. Good morning, King. Shout out to the King token over there on PulseChain. Thank you for being here this morning, brother. Appreciate you. Scythex. I wish I could eat tacos or any food at the moment. I definitely hope you're feeling better. I know that you've been down and out for the count. So hopefully you recover soon. Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone, again. All right. We're going to get into some topics about PulseChain, but we're going to look at the market real quick. We're going to talk about PulseChain's Remember token is back, right? We got a new Remember version 2. We got a new ETH printer. I put is town. Oh, no, Thomas. It's in town. Let me change that. New token is town. Jeez. Don't live stream for a day. Skip the Monday. Skip leg day. When you don't stream on a Monday, it's like skipping leg day. All right. It's equivalent to skipping leg day. You just get that skinny leg syndrome. All right. We go here really quick on the and change that up. Oh man. Well, grammar's not my strong suit, right? None of that. All right, it's fixed. Anyways, let's take a look here. S&P 500, right? I mean, the stock market, guys, 5,891 points. NASDAQ, 21,206. The Dow 30, 42,243. These are all, like, I watched all these stock pros that are like, the top will be this, the top will be this. A lot of them are aligning with the same data and with the way they look at the stock market top coming. I find it interesting because I love Trump, all right? But I am not going to shy away from saying, like, the truth here, what I think really is going on. He's pumping the market, right? But it's not like the market pumped with, like, a massive, like, fix. It's almost like with the tariffs, he created a problem with the tariff war. And then it's like, I got this fix, a solution. And then the market went up. But then I'm like, nah, I'm super bullish on Trump. Like, tariffs were needed and all that, which is good for America overall. And now that we're coming to the conclusion of this 90-day period where China and the U.S. are like, hey, let's be cool for a minute here. For 90 days, we're going to lower the tariffs real low on both sides of the fence. And I think what happens after 90 days with this new tariff policy, we call it, between the U.S. and China deal that they hit for a 90-day period is going to probably feel good. And I would imagine they'd be like, hey, that was a good trial run. Let's keep it going. Let's knock it down maybe a little bit more, right? Because both sides need to feel the impact of what that does. But is that the peak euphoria for the stock market? This China-US deal, right? So now that we've come to terms, the tariff war narrative is about to be on the back burner, because all Trump ever had to do was anytime the market was impacted by the tariff scares, right, with the tariff wars and all these, high tariff percentages going back and forth, all he had to do every time the market reacted was say, hey, we're putting a pause on that. And then the market would become excited again. So I'm wondering, now that we've reached this point, heading into next week, do we start seeing corrections? And if we start seeing corrections, how do they impact your cryptocurrencies? That's just something to think about. I think Bitcoin in the past month, as correlated as the stock market and Bitcoin have been to each other, there has been like some moments where I'm starting to like think like Bitcoin might have become a decorrelated asset, crypto altogether, to the stock market, because there were days where one was up and one was down. And it's interesting. Look at this. We're peaking right now. What news have we got going on? What did I miss? What did I miss? Right? Let's take a look at ETH, because a lot of us are here today. A lot of you are here today because you want to talk about, what's going on the Pulse chain. But a $2,594 Ethereum is good for Pulse. Us being like that leverage, right? That leverage on Ethereum. We see the $2,592 Ethereum. Everyone sees something different. Some people are like, super cycle. I got an email from my tax guy earlier, and he's talking about the super cycle. I didn't even reply. I didn't say anything because I'm like, super cycle. Like, all right. Not yet. Maybe, but not yet. Like, I'm not, people think I'm like super bearish, but I'm more like the bottom is not in yet scenario. I think we have another month, all right, going into the summer. Bottom out, come out, champions, end of July, early August, right? That's where I'm projecting right now. But the sentiment over on PulseChain is now we're looking at the $645 million in the SAC funds, right? Only down 31% instead of 50%. Reason being, this is like the most exciting narrative right now. The reason that everyone was kind of down in the dumps is seeing ETH down. And then that narrative about PulseChain being pumped with what they call the treasury. So this is supposed to be like a funds of no expectations, but we've seen it pump the price of PulseChain before. So the expectations are actually there. Like, hey, I expect it to happen again and again and again, right? And the best time for that to even take place is when ETH is up. So everyone wants ETH to hit an all-time high, right? Everyone wants ETH to hit an all-time high to really help our bags, right? So let's see. Your title says in instead of is. Did I change it to the wrong one? Oh yeah, I thought I made a correction and I actually did the opposite. Let me change it back. What the hell happened? I'm just trying to make an edit here. That is hilarious. I went in there, I was like, let me change it. And it was right the first time. Oh my God. Oh, yikes. Changing that right now. PulseChain Remember token is back. New printer in town. There we go. Jeez Louise. I don't think it's going to let me do an edit on the StreamYard right now. I don't know why. That is freaking hilarious. Oh, man. Thank you for the correction. So that's corrected. All fixed. What the hell is going on? Schedule for later. Your stream must be scheduled in the future within 1 year. Please edit the start time. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It's live right now. That's why I'm trying to make the change. Anyways, it's updated on YouTube or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, back to the lecture at hand. All right. Stack funds go back to all-time high and above, like where Richard Hart's entry. All hell is going to break loose. All hell is going to break loose. Do I think we're heading there? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. Did Web OG launch another Remember token? OG Web. Yeah. There is a new token for Remember. A new token is in town. We're going to look at that right now. And it's printing hard, guys. It's Remember V2. If you're in this ecosystem, in all honesty, you have to be up to date. Like, I'm not even in their chat, and I went in there just to listen to the VC, right? And he talked about the reason why he launched it, and the reason behind. Sorry, I was reading a Telegram message. The reason why he launched it, okay, and it was to make the Remember people whole. There's a way to get this airdropped if you were a Remember holder. You know, you got to be in their secret trillion club, blah, blah, blah. I went on there with an alt account, you know, and because I ain't trying to be like, hey, I'm Thomas G, here's my wallet, you know. So I was able to get in the Remember token, right? And when it launched, I did some numbers. So I can understand. If you got in at launch and you were down on Remember, you got some damn good gains. Some damn good gains, right? It pumped. It like when it went live, it was probably like I saw it $400,000 market cap or whatever, and I was like, all right, cool. Now this market cap is obviously all funky, but basically it's like I guess you could say based off the price. And when I got in, it'd be like $2.6 million market cap, something like that. But anyways, everyone was kind of thrown off by it, like what's going on. I know there's some people complaining, some people upset. I was like more in the category of excited, right, to see some gains. Because I was in Remember pretty early. And I remember not selling the top and then feeling wrecked. And I remember the good times when it was printing. I also remember them saying the transition from Remember no longer printing Pulse was the way they had to go for sustainability. So I understand all these like changes and measures that took place, but all I know now is however that all changed, Remember token is now printing Pulse again, right? And this is V2. And I am excited again. This is like back in February status. Here's the thing you want to be excited about, because the token we're going to talk about that came out recently, it's called the world's greatest Ethereum printer. It's over on ETH. If we take a look at that really quick, when I got in, it was early, and I did 3 different wallets I'm doing with this token right here. And I'll explain to you why in a second. And the consistency, I'm looking at the 5-minute right here, right? On the 5-minute time frame. The consistency has been since launch, literally in your 5-minute time frames, when you look at the chart in volume, has always been like 4 to 10K some during good times, but it's always been like literally above $4,000 of volume. Most of the time above 5,000 in the 5-minute time frames as far as volume, trade volume, right? Then you can stretch out the 24-hour volume. On average right now has been above 2 million on a 24-hour time frame. So OG cracked the code for whatever he's doing to create that volume, which generates revenue for the users, rewards. And it's all through these bots, right? How they work and all that. I don't know entirely how they work, to be honest with you. However, I do know that I'm watching in real time world's greatest Ethereum printer print me Ethereum at a high ROI. I think I'm like 2 days away from 100% ROI, I believe, since launch. And it launched 8 days ago. So by day 10, right, I'll be 100% ROI. And 3 different wallets. One wallet is a suicide wallet. So all my rewards just go back into compounding. And then we'll call it wallet 2. Does a split. So 12 hours a day, it compounds. 12 hours a day, it takes USDC and it converts it, the rewards from Ethereum to USDC, right? That goes out to the real world. All right. And then wallet number 3, right, is kind of just taking revenue and forking it, not forking it, but bridging it back over and DCAing into PulseChain assets, and at the same time, OG Web Chef printers. So I want to link up the rewards from world's greatest Ethereum printer on Ethereum, bridge it over when it gets to like $500 in rewards, and start to compound into Remember. So just like a cross-chain, operation going on a one wallet, right? Sometimes it'll buy ETH, hacks, whatever, and then it'll buy, now starting to force feed some Remember compound action. So now that we've seen that volume happen, I believe that Remember version 2 is somewhat like the same operation that's running, I guess you could say, bots and contracts that's running for world's greatest Ethereum printer. I'm not 100% sure of that, but for damn sure you can see the consistency on the volume on the 5-minute to the 24-hour time frame on volume. $22,000 in volume in the past 5 minutes. The 24-hour volume is 6.6 million. So you have more volume happening on Remember version 2 right now across the board than probably any other token in all of PulseChain, right? So it's interesting to see this kind of volume on PulseChain just in general. Like, let's click on PulseX. 24-hour volume, 506,000. Hex, 575K volume in 24 hours. These are core tokens, right? 446,000 on Ink. You could probably add up all the pulls together on V1 and V2 and still have less volume between all the core tokens added up than you would just on Remember V2. Fed token, if you guys don't know what token that is, I'm just taking an example because it's up a lot right now, mooning. A lot of people excited about it, 233,000 in volume. So this has been consistent volume. Yesterday in the 24-hour period, it was like 10 million plus, right? But when these printers print, it's based off volume. The higher the volume, the better. And we were experiencing crazy rewards with Remember token back in February. And that was just like with $1 million plus dollars in volume on the daily. So we went 10 times that amount. Now we're 6.6 times that amount, like on a good day, right? On a high printing day. So something's going on where this is consistent. I don't know the secret sauce behind that action. I really don't know. I just know that in comparison to what we're seeing with the volume and how it's printing, this has to be like world's greatest Ethereum printer on PulseChain, which I believe he might have said. Let's see what Cyphex is saying. Why Remember V2? V1 contract had bugs. OG was still learning Solidity 2. Or Solidity 2, it got attacked by bad actors. Once it gained traction. 3, yield dropped 50 to 80%. People stopped earning. There we go. OG had manually run bots to keep it alive. Even larger holders weren't getting decent ROI. 6 clubs stopped working. No one was printing. There we go. And he said all these things, I believe, in chats and during a VC. And you know, you either stick through the hard times in a cryptocurrency or you get out. And sometimes you get out and it's like just in time, you know, like thank God. You know, and then sometimes it pays off. So really, whatever your risk tolerance is, whatever your goal is, if you stuck around in the OG Web Chef ecosystem, and now you're seeing a solid foundation between world's greatest Ethereum printer on ETH, and now remember version 2 and the volume that they're printing and that how they're printing hard right now. This is pumping Pulse like crazy. World's greatest Ethereum printer pumping ETH like crazy, right? Now you know if you're in the ecosystem, there are some other tokens out there that are part of it that aren't doing too well, right? So that just leads me to believe that the necessary fixes were put into place to figure some things out when it comes to the newest tokens. Version 2 of Remember, and then World's Greatest Ethereum Printer. And you see what they've done to those tokens. It leads me to believe that there's going to be some more things done across the board. If you're still holding like Beast or Dominance or any of the tokens like Finfesta, Finfire, even Flexmas, there will be probably some things that are being worked on now or going to be implemented in the near future. It may not happen today, tomorrow, next week, or next month, but we've seen progress in things being done on something that people were speculating was, you know, completely dead and brought back to life. So some of you could stomach that and hold on, right? Some of you would leave and come back. Whatever it may be, the reason why volume is back, the reason why people are excited again is because we're now seeing the capabilities of 2 printers on both ETH and Pulse doing identical intense volume. And that would lead me to believe, well, why can't this type of strategy or technology or contract be updated for the other tokens and make them great again as well, right? One day at a time, one token at a time. It may not be Dominance next. It may not be Beast next. It may be in another token. But we do know the chef is cooking, okay? The chef is cooking. And right now, the stove is hot. The grill is hot. We're getting served some pretty good ROI right now. So my belief system has skyrocketed, right? The OG Web Chef stock is skyrocketing right now. The trust that was lost is being regained. The confidence that was lost is being regained. Or if you kept it always the same, now you have more confidence than you did before if you never budged. Everyone's different. But the volume is just straight undeniable. Like, this is insane. This is insane. This is what's going to get you paid. It's the volume. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, you can't find on any other token on PulseChain. And we all love Pulse, right? We all want Pulse to go up. And this is the reward you get for holding Remember, version 2. Get paid in Pulse. All right? I just believe more than ever now. That's where I'm at, right? I believe more than ever now. I've stuck around the ecosystem. I've talked about it during the great times and the hard times. You guys have watched me in real time consistently bring content about this ecosystem through the good, bad, and the ugly. All right. And I'm just around, man. You know, I'm involved with it on a daily basis. So when I see stuff like this happen, it makes me more bullish across the ecosystem. Like, I'm going to get more dominance. I'm going to pick up some more bags or get back some tokens I liquidated, you know. Let's take a look. Remember's paying, look at these numbers. Shout out to Cyphex. He's got all the data. He's got it. He works hard for the community. Remember, 7.43%. Beast, 1.45%. Flexmas, 1.21%. These are daily ROIs, people. Gas, 1.09%. Monomics is 0.66%. I forget what these logos are for these other printers, but damn, anything above 1% is insane. Even 0.5% on a daily ROI is insane. 7.43%. I mean, you can't get that anywhere. You can't. And you can think about how you can really hyper compound at that rate. And, you know, the bet here is every day that goes by that we keep seeing consistent volume, it gets me more confident for compounding to increase the daily revenue that I'll make for myself. So that right there is like, you know, a real confidence boost, being able to see this now for 1 day and 10 hours. The volume's crazy. And this is what I watch. I don't care about the price, right? We've seen the price go up. The bot starts shooting, starts buying it like crazy, creating volume, comes back down. You'll notice a trend when you watch this, right? Buying and selling, creating volume, getting you paid. All right. So if it traded sideways in this range, Gucci. If it went up and corrected down, Gucci. You know, one thing that I always wanted out of OG printers, consistency and volume, and just trading flat out sideways, people. Just trading flat out sideways. Look at the 5 minutes, 16K in volume. As we speak, $16,000 in 5 minutes. There's no other token on PulseChain doing this. No other token on PulseChain doing this. No other token. Cyphex just put the contract address. Thank you, sir. And I don't know if he ran the numbers for world's greatest Ethereum printer. I don't know. I haven't identified the exact ROI here. I just know that practically my first entry wallet, 100% ROI in the next day and a half, 2 days. My other two wallets will happen in the next few days or so. But the one that I've suicide compound, that's beefed up. All right. That one's like double the payouts almost. So I love it on Ethereum. And listen, like I mentioned, I could just bridge over rewards and buy Remember, right? Compound here, whatever I want. And if OG launches a secondary token on Ethereum, which I think he might have mentioned might be the case, then I could stack like my USDC rewards and kind of leave them dormant, and then go into ETH and buy that when it's available and have two printers on ETH. Why not? Why not? WGEP ROI is roughly 5% daily, guys. What in the living crap? Right? Starting value, $4,500. Dividends, $224. 24-hour ROI, 4.98%. I mean, come on. Come on. Mamma mia. That's talk about getting paid, right? Getting paid right there. Some of you guys got these printers going crazy, getting paid all day. I love it. I love it. So, yeah, V2's back. As far as like the original token, there's like a whole burn mechanics behind it. You got to go into the chat and get all that information, right? If you didn't see it happen from the get-go, that means you didn't have a trillion. Remember, like, you could have got 1 trillion Remember for really cheap. Bid in OG's trillion club, got the drop on the new token, burned for it, bought it, made a ton of money on top of your investment to get to 1 trillion, like as it started to bottom out. So those that believed and took the gamble got the reward, right? Those of you who didn't do anything might be a lot of the ones that are kind of bitter right now, and I understand, right? Like, you're always going to be upset at the opportunities you miss in life in general and crypto, and always be like, I coulda, woulda, shoulda, but I didn't, right? And if you listen to the intro of my live streams, I play that because a lot of the times people are afraid to take risk. They're afraid to fail, okay? I have no fear of failing because now I've become accustomed to failing so much in life and in crypto. I'm fearless, and that creates opportunities to reap a lot of reward, and also has created times where I get wrecked as well. So there's two sides of the fence. But my risk tolerance and my, just being so willing to fail is where the opportunity lies. And unfortunately, in cryptocurrency, if you want the fast money, if you want to fast track things, that's the route I've had to choose. Now, everything else where I bought Bitcoin, Ethereum early and sat on it for years, that's a different story. But some of you missed that. So some of you are trying to fast track and get, things on and popping. Just took 1K from WGEP rewards, bridged the PulseChain, piped up 1K worth of Remember version 2, bringing outside money back in. Do you see how that works, guys? It's a loop. It's a loop. We print on Ethereum and we bring it back into the PulseChain ecosystem. And that's what I was talking about with the strategy with one of my wallets. That is bringing in new money into the ecosystem. It really is. It's interesting to see how OG was able to piece together something on Ethereum where people are like, I'm going to bring some of that to Pulse, right? So I'm not a financial advisor, but here's what I tell myself, right? I look at Beast. I say, hang in there. Take some reward, DCA. It did some things you didn't think it would do. It is what it is. The ecosystem was under attack. They're trying to fix things. So when the fix is there, right, and you're buying here, opportunity awaits. And I just know from what OG has said that they're working hard. They're figuring things out. And, that just keeps me around. A lot of you are just like, no, I'm done. Bought Beast at $15. I'm wrecked. I get it. But at the end of the day, in the environment in crypto where tokens correct hard, right? You could have been in ETH March of 2024, bought at 4,000, and I had to write it all the way down to 1,800. Now it's recovering. But will they go up or go back down? Will you ever recover your $4,000? We don't know, and that's been a year. Cryptocurrencies do this. This is the nature of the beast. Let's take a look at PulseChain really quick. A lot of people were asking me, are you bullish still? Like I said another month out, I am bullish on PulseChain long term. All right. I believe I'll still be able to catch more dips. Will it double dip the absolute bottom? It could get close or get there or maybe go lower. I'm thinking like I'll get a dip again. I'll buy it back. But this is going to be a short window of opportunity. Right. I'm talking in the next 30 to 45 days of get everything you can collect on PulseChain that you love before the train takes off, right? And the problem that you have when you go on Twitter and everything else is people will truthfully tell you, and they probably believe it, or they're trying to really hype things up is, hey, you don't have much time. You got to get in now. I just slow my roll and pace myself. I believe there's still time. I really do. Pulse, full zeros in the 3.7. PulseX, 4 zeros in the 3.38. About to reach parity again. Inc, $1.74. Hex, 2 zeros in 8.64. So the reason why, if you guys want to know the reason why I think we're going to get this dip, and I talked about it early in the first part of the stream, this right here that's going on is breaching all-time highs, all-time hype, right? The biggest news we could have got outside of the feds doing what Trump wants them to do, and they blatantly are not going to follow his order and lead, right? The biggest event that could have took place just took place, and that's us being in good terms with tariffs across the board, including China, right? So why did crypto pump in January? It was the Trump pump. He's going to be inaugurated. All the PolitiFi tokens went crazy. Trump token came out, wiped them all out. You really saw in an example of how markets cleanse and wipe things out. There were so many meme tokens that were primed to take off and go to $1 billion market cap that were in the PolitiFi category as a meme token that we're going to ride the wave of Trump being inaugurated and getting into office. It was like, we're 2 weeks away, load up. Trump token launches, kills all of those memes, takes down the entire like industry in a moment's time, right? And it was the weirdest thing. But here's another weird thing that could happen is like worldwide global hype around tariffs. I think we're at the peak of it. So what else could come out that would continue to send the stock market flying high? I think we're peak news. I think we just correct because we're supposed to correct when we go up. And if we are a correlated asset, like we have been, but there's been signs that we're no longer, but we'll see. Stock market corrects and, we go down with it before, summer actually truly starts. We could just buy the dip and then the market is going to, correct again. But on the other opposite side of the spectrum, meaning going up. And I believe that'll start to happen, heading into August, going into September, towards the end of the 2025 year. We'll see what happens. But I do know that the reason why I'm not super bullish in this time frame as of right now, because I believe that the stock market has to have a massive correction. Okay. When it has a massive correction with Bitcoin, like I would want Bitcoin to be at $120,000 while a stock market correction happens, right? But a stock market correction happens and we're at these prices. Okay, that pulls us away from breaking all-time high. So I wonder what news event or what could possibly happen, because there's always something that's on the table that is yet to be announced or might, be taking place that can drive us up more. So I'm just speculating that the peak hype for stocks and crypto is like now, right? And maybe things can start to cool off, or they might. We'll see. We're like a day or two away, actually. The delayed response to like, okay, everyone's excited and clapping and happy. And then they're going to go, okay, so who else is going to buy our bags? And I'm talking about the stock market too. Who's going to keep buying to bring the prices up? Oh, wait a minute. Let me sell. It feels like the top. And then people start to sell. So I just think the emotions are going to transition pretty quickly here, where people are going to feel like it's like when you get to the top of the roller coaster and you have that moment at the top of the roller coaster where you kind of brace yourself or you get excited, because some people get excited for the dip, but then when you actually go down, you get that feeling in your stomach. Most of you do. Some of, if you're like me and love roller coasters, when it dips, you get excited like I do in the markets to buy the dip. But you kind of know when you're there, right? Levels out, and then it crashes because everyone's trying to run to the exit door and cash out the top. Everyone's trying to sell the top. Some people make the tops. They got that much money. So let's see what happens, right? I think we've had peak euphoria on the stock market. Crypto, there could be like much more bullish. We could be decorrelated from the stock market. So that's what we're going to see. I believe the stock market's going to go down. And if I'm right about possibly being decorrelated, there's a possibility, then maybe we go up while it goes down, or we go down with it. I'm not sure about it. I'm really on the fence. I really am. I thought Ethereum would at least go to like $3,000. I'm not so sure now. So I need to see in the next few days. Don't forget, guys, R2R, 2 days, it closes. If you're interested in R2R, reach out to me. I put the instructions in the video as always. I'm not adding anybody else ever again, unless they're developers for like a project that the crew is in, it's going to be developers only. No new members to R2R. Reason being is because we're going very close here to when I think we are going to see bottoms, and the excitement starts to happen when we take that big curve down and go up. I want a limited amount of people who roll with me hard to be in there and win with them. And I'm not going to just bring new people. I want the friends and family and all of you guys that I build relationships with We keep it in-house. Anything we know early, and all the tools and all the bells and whistles that people cover in the chat to give you further knowledge or access to, we want to keep it a small circle. So 2 days on May 15th, R2R's closing its doors. And some of you will see me in the members only. I think I'm going to do a members only tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm not sure. But I'm feeling better. These antibiotics got me feeling good, like barely on day 7. No, I'm feeling good. Day 7 rolls, I'm good. So I got like 3 more days, and hopefully I'm 100%. That's why I skipped yesterday. But don't forget to pound the like button, guys. Drop a comment. Till next time, we'll do it again. Yeah, dog.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Crypto talk with Thomas G. Yeah, dog. Bringing heat. Mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including ETH. Yeah, dog. Bringing heat. Mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including got me on Navex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zuby on Phantom, I got a few nodes. Sticking my Rex, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G. Yeah, dog. Bringing heat. Mining sprees. And we're farming all around.